Okay, let's continue with our little stories for what they're worth. Not much, no culpa, but why not put them out there? They can be funny for some future civilization. Uh, Idiotic one, which is coming. They were talking on the Milmar show on Friday, Saturday, about this fellow having Georgia candidate for the Senate, that Brown. And he's so dumb. He is like and it's possible. I mean, we're there. Idiots electing idiots. Think Trump, Bolsonaro, so many others. And there's this movie where in the future they're idiots and they just don't. Idiocracy, I think it's called. In that system, well, I would maybe be a hit. I mean, nonsense. I'm putting on nonsense. So Nikki, that was in the last episode of the last day of the last September. I'm sorry. And this is happening again with the revolution. So it's the revolution. I took part. I have some episodes there. Like, watch, share. No, you don't need to do that. Avoid that. In the revolution days, I meet Michael Myers, the East European bureau chief in Vienna or something like that. He asked me about the experience. I tell him some of that is in Newsweek, covering the events with Ceausescu lying dead on the cover, shot dead on Christmas 1999. And then there's a frenzy. There's James Wild from town. That's a strange coincidence. I meet Michael Myers from Newsweek, and instead of meeting somebody from the BBC, from a newspaper in Paris, and well, that would be a challenge because my French is still much weaker. No practice besides, and so I work with James Wild, and that's a fabulous experience. This man was wise. He was 60 years old with white hair, and an incredible personality. He anticipated the events with Front taking over and winning the elections, although at that time they said they don't intend to participate, the spontaneous movement, which they were not, and so on. I would not be so keen on that side at this point. We meet with a few people, including Gabi Code. Let's put it that way. Again, I don't want. It's a limited release. Few people, if any, watching. I mean, they click on apparently from numbers, but they watch for 10 seconds, and that's fine. That's Blink, about thinking without thinking. Classic by Malcolm Gladwell. It takes 10 seconds to see this is not worth it. So I understand. We take decisions in the blink of an eye, thinking without thinking. And that's wonderful. This Gabi Code was a singer. Maybe he still is. And he had a house near a city. Termina! Quite a few children, all daughters as well as I can. Termina, remember? And we talked with him and some other musicians about what is going on, how was communism, what's the perspective. Băi, potolește odată! And interesting, I would meet him again. We would go down to Sofia together with Miss Romania a little bit later, I guess about 1 year from now. So that was an interesting coincidence. And then again, I would meet regularly with his dog and one of his daughters. I mean, not arranged meeting, it just, we walk the dogs in the same area around the National Theatre and so on. So, a Great Dane, I think they have. Yeah. Then it was Radio Sweden. A few more, Helsinki and Sanomat, a journalist from Helsinki and Sanomat, drinking a lot. Wonderful guy also, but drunk at about noon. Paying a lot, $100 a day for a little work until noon when it was all over. I mean, nobody to work with. And then also very generous with his room. I know I had sex in his room at the Intercontinental Hotel. At the highest, maybe sex at the highest place. No, well, it was on the mountains, but as distance from the ground, I guess that was the highest point I reached physically to have sex at. So that was fine. And with Radio Sweden, that was about 6 weeks' work. 10 years, $20 a day. And we continue tomorrow.